Okay. Good morning, welcome back to Ponds Forge International Sports Centre for another session of heats here from the Speedo Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships. This morning we will be bringing you the heats for the men's 200 metres breaststroke, women's 200 metres butterfly, men's 100 metres butterfly and women's 200 metres breaststroke. So 4 events in this session. And as I'm sure you're aware, the fastest 10 in each age group qualify for the finals. We'll have finals for those events later on today. Also coming up today, we have afternoon sessions for relays. So they will be at 1 and 2 o'clock this afternoon. Men's 4x100 freestyle coming up later. That will be at 1 p.m. And at 2 p.m, women's 4x200 metres freestyle relay heats, which will also serve as the medal-winning swims in the second session. So we are almost set to begin our first event this morning, men's 200 metres breaststroke, and there will be 12 heats. The swimmers are making their way onto poolside then for our first heat of the morning. And there will be 10 swimmers in this first heat. They're all in the 13-14 age group. And we'll introduce you to all of the swimmers as we go through their heats. Here we go, heat number 1. The swimmers in heat 1. From the far side of the pool, Ethan Pryor for Leyland Barracudas, Henry Stutchfield for Warrender Baths, Stephen Yankoff for Repton, Leo Zhangwei for Dulwich Dolphins, Leo Iverson for Salisbury Stingrays, Lucas Yu for City of Brighton and Hove, Leo Shi for Redditch, Hugo Koyanagi for City of St Albans, Ruslan Shiraz for Borough of Waltham Forest Gators, and Arthur Foran for Burnley Bobcats. And the first turn, 3 turns in this event, of course. First turn, Lucas Yu out in front, 33.16 ahead of Leo Shi and Stephen Yankoff, who is swimming in lane 7. And Lucas Yu looking very good in lane 4. We are looking to get swimmers in this heat under 2 minutes 40 ideally. That would be the target time for these swimmers, under 2 minutes 40. Coming up to the halfway turn then, and it's Lucas Yu who will turn first. And Lucas's time, 1:11.5 at the turn, followed by Stephen Yankoff, Ruslan Shiraz, Leo Zhangwei, Leo Shi, Leo Iverson, Harry Stutchfield, Hugo Koyanagi, Ethan Pryor and Arthur Foran. Every one of these swimmers has achieved something really quite special to get here, because these are the top 30 swimmers from the regionals who qualify in each age group. So everybody you see competing today is of the highest caliber. And then the very fastest 10 from each age group go on to the final, and that's another level as well. So Lucas Yu leading, Stephen Yankoff second. 2 minutes 40 would be a good time for everyone in this heat. So let's see how many of those swimmers can go under that marker. As we come into the last 15 metres for Lucas. .240 would be a good time, so this is going to be an absolutely excellent time for Lucas. 234.44 PB, which is brilliant. Liu Zhangwei, 237.01, that's a PB. Stephen Yankov, 237.04 PB. Ruslan Shiraz, 239.38, that's a personal best time. So our first four swimmers there, all with personal bests. And if you come to these championships and you deliver a PB, that is fantastic. Lucas Yu and Liu Zhangwei might have a chance of qualifying for the final with those times. We'll wait and see. On we go to Heat 2. The swimmers in Heat 2 are Harrison Wake for City of Leeds, Jasper Kong for City of Birmingham, Henry Little for Aquajets of Newcastle, Kaplan Ealer for Chelsea and Westminster, Heath Murphy, Nuneaton and Bedworth, Percy Dean for Swim Bournemouth, Balsis Franciscus for Guildford City, Oscar Fox for Kingston upon Hull, Andrew Wu for Trafford Metro Borough, and Ethan Border for Mid Sussex Marlins. Leading at the turn is going to be Percy Dean, and I did mention lane 6 there, but Kaplan Ealer isn't swimming, so lane 6 is vacant. It's Percy Dean, then Heath Murphy at the first turn. Under 33 seconds for Percy at that turn. Coming up to halfway then, it's Percy Dean, followed by Heath Murphy. And in this heat, I think anything under 2:38 would be a very good time. We'll get qualifiers for the 13-14 final from this heat. So Percy Dean and then Heath Murphy, and in third at the moment it looks like Henry Liddell. Into the final 50 then. Percy Dean, he's got a personal best time of 2:34.94. And I think we're getting close to that here. So, Percy Dean, let's see if we can get a PB. Let's go under 2:34.94 here for Percy. That has to be our target. Into the wall, and Percy Dean, 2:28.64. So that's a first swim under 2:30. Brilliant swim, 2:28.64. And so a great swim that. $2:28.64. The winning time. We go on to Heat 3. And in this heat we have Oliver Laszlo for South West London Finn, Hero Dwan for Chelsea and Westminster, George Robertson for City of Sheffield, Harley Short for Mount Kelly, Matthias Shakula for Rhondda, William O'Brien for Stockport Metro, Luke Tolan for Flitwick Dolphins, Khan Tukjetin for Abingdon Vale, Cameron Baker for City of Peterborough, and lane 0 is empty. At the first turn, the leader is George Robertson. So it's Robertson out in front for City of Sheffield. And coming up to the halfway turn then, it's Robertson first to the wall, followed by Khan Tukjetin, Cameron Baker, William O'Brien, Harley Short, Luke Toland, Oliver Laszlo, Matthias Sekula, and Hero Dwan. George Robertson, after 150 metres then, ahead of Khan Tukjetin. Third of that turn, and coming back is Cameron Baker. But leading the heat is George Robertson. George has got a PB of 234.17. So George, can he get under 234.17? He's going to do that. This is going to be a PB for George Robertson. And the time at the wall, 228.95. Khan Tukjetin, 231.09, gets a PB as well. Cameron Baker, 233.10, also a PB. William O'Brien, 234.49. Good swims all around there. And here are the results then. George Robertson, 228.95. Khan Tukjetin, 231.09. On to heat 4. And the swimmers in Heat 4 are Jake Battle for Repton, Romeo Ball for Maidstone, Jack Stewart Lavender for Nofio Surgar, Matthew Young for City of Salford, Zach Hopkinson for Grantham, George Custer for Newcastle, Arthur Owens for City of Leeds, William Brown for Guildford City, Leighton Lavelle for Durham City, and Oscar Earthroll for City of Brighton and Hove. At the turn then, the leader is George Custer, then it's Arthur Owens and Zach Hopkinson. Custer out in front and going well in lane 0, Oscar Earthroll. So Oscar Earthroll looking strong here. And it's going to be Custer turning at halfway in 109.50. Second at the turn then, Zach Hopkinson, followed by Oscar Earthroll, Arthur Owens, Matthew Young, William Brown, Jake Battle, Jack Stewart Lavender, Romeo Ball, and Leighton Lavelle. So it's Custer leading. Custer's a 16-year swimmer. We have Romeo Ball 2 lanes from the top, who's a 13-14 swimmer. We have 15 swimmers in lanes 9, 2 and 0. Jake Battle, William Brown and Oscar Earthroll. And Oscar in 0 is going very well. So too now Zach Hopkinson. They're all closing in on George Custer. And it looks like Zach Hopkinson is going to overtake Custer in the last 15 then. Zach's PB is 2:31.14. Zach Hopkinson aiming to beat that time then. 2:31 to beat for him, and that's a PB. 2:28.04. That's fantastic. Second then George Custer, 2:28.95. That's equaling his PB. He swam that time before, 2:28.95, would you believe? And there you go, confirmation of the result. Zach Hopkinson, 2:28.08. On to heat 5. The swimmers in Heat 5 are Ollie Dovey for Corby, Mason Amiri for Whitney and District, James McGettigan for Thurrock, Alexander Black, Sutton and Cheam, Hongri Fu for Millfield, Finley Bennett for South Lanarkshire, Edward Oscroft for Northampton, Zach Bourne-Whittington for York City Baths, Noah Bielby for City of Peterborough, and Dylan Mitchell for Warrender Baths. Great first 50 from James McGettigan, turning first there in 32.31, ahead of Alexander Black. And then in lane 0, closest to us, that is Dylan Mitchell.
Entry time. Currently ranked 10th based on these from what we've seen. There's 2 parcels.
Coming up to the halfway turn then, McGettigan will turn first. 1:10.04. Then it's Hongri Fu, Ollie Dovey, Alexander Black, Noah Bielby, Dylan Mitchell, Edward Oscroft, Mason Amiri, Finley Bennett, and Zach Bourne-Whittington. That's the order after 200 metres. And coming up to the final turn then, it's McGettigan and Hongri Fu in 5. Third is going to be Alexander Black at this turn. And into the final 15 metres. Leading the way, James McGettigan ahead of Hongri Fu. So it's McGettigan winning in 2:27.68. And that's a 3-second PB for James. So that's great stuff from him. Hongri Fu 2:30.11. And here come the confirmed results. James McGettigan winning that heat. And the swimmers in Heat 6 are Noah Willer for Borough of Waltham Forest Gators, Harry Douglas for Morpeth, Joey Standard for Stockport Metro, James Nightingale for City of Leicester, Theo Bruntlett for Nuneaton and Bedworth, Oscar Farthing for Thanet, Ethan McMillan Cole for City of Brighton and Hove, Harry Pearce for Mount Kelly, Harry Connor for Stratford Sharks, and Oscar Donnelly for City of Liverpool. Leading into the wall is Oscar Farthing in this heat. Farthing followed by Oscar Donnelly. The leader, Oscar Farthing, and Harry Pearce is going well in lane 2, also in lane 0. Coming into the turn, it's Oscar Farthing. And second to the wall is Harry Pearce, followed by James Nightingale, Oscar Donnelly, Ethan McMillan Cole, Harry Connor sixth at the turn, then Theo Bruntlett, Noah Willer, Harry Douglas and Joey Standard.
So from the 7-2 lanes, 4 and 5 are in the 17 years age group.
We have a 13-14 swimmer, Harry Connor, in lane 1. And a 15 or 2-15 swimmers, Noah Willer in 9 and Ethan McMillan Cole in lane 3.
17-18 years age group drawing alongside Oscar Farthing.
And coming through now strongly, it's Harry Pearce ahead of Oscar Farthing. So it looks like Pearce is going to win the heats. Pearce from Mount Kelly. 2:27.7 is his PB. He's going to beat that comfortably. 2:24.18 for Harry. Oscar Farthing, 2:25.01. And third there, Harry Connor, 2:28.16. For the 16s, on to heat 7. And in this heat, we have Finn Jakins for Crawley, Arthur Greenwalker for Mount Kelly, Rocco Murphy for Nuneaton and Bedworth, Max Higgins for Reeds of Cobham, Adam Maref for Wickham District. Then we have the empty lane 4. It's Nicholas Land for Morpeth, Leo Talbot for Bolton Metro, Caden Hitchens for City of Birmingham, and Ian Veria for Whitney and District in lane 0. And it looks like Caden Hitchens might get to the wall first, or maybe Max Higgins. It's Higgins actually, 32.86 at the wall. Coming up to halfway, and it's still Max Higgins with Arthur Greenwalker and Caden Hitchens. Fourth at the turn, Finn Jakins. Then Ian Veria, Leo Talbot, Rocco Murphy, Nicholas Land and Adam Maref at the turn.
Race are either in the 16 or 17, 18 years age group. 16-year-olds are in lanes 1 and 2 and 7.
And now Caden Hitchens in lane 1, getting up level with Arthur Greenwalker. So leading the way, it's Caden Hitchens and Arthur Greenwalker. And finishing strongly, Ian Veria in lane 0. Lanes 7, 2 and 1 here are 16 years swimmers. As we come to the wall, who's going to get the touch? It's Ian Veria in 2:28.66 with Leo Talbot second, and Leo's a 16-year swimmer, so Leo will qualify for the 16 years final with that time we would expect. Caden Hitchens will have to wait and see with 2:29.39 if he qualifies for the 16s final. In this heat, we have 9 swimmers competing. Lewis Dickinson for Nuneaton and Bedworth, Alex Cantley for University of Aberdeen Performance, then the empty lane. Then it's Toby Bullock for Midlothian, Fraser Dow for Perth City, Jeremiah Carnegie for Repton, William Irvin for Mount Kelly, Malachi Woods for Maxwell, Nico Hero for Mount Kelly, and Hugh Fung Nathan Chuk for Team Bath in lane 0. Lane 9 leading the way, Lewis Dickinson in 31.73. We have a 15-year-old swimmer in lane 1, Nico Hero. And Nico will certainly be trying to get in the 15s final here. Alex Cantley in lane 8 is 16 years of age, so he could qualify for the 16s final here. Those are the 2 most likely finals qualifiers from this heat. At the halfway turn, it's Lewis Dickinson, followed by Malachi Woods, Jeremiah Carnegie third there. Then it's Fraser Dow, William Irvine in 5th, Toby Bullock, Alex Cantley, Nico Hero, and Hugh Fung Nathan Chuk. So Dickinson and Woods first and second. We're keeping an eye on Alex Cantley, who's turned in 8th place there, trying to get into the 16s final, and Nico Hero, who turned 7th, trying to get into the 15s final. Lewis Dickinson on the far side's got a PB of 2:27.8, and Malachi Woods 2:27.05. They're both going under 2:27 here. They're both going to have PBs. Finishing strongly as well, Jeremiah Carnegie. It's Woods in 2:25.03 PB. Lewis Dickinson 2:25.51 PB. Carnegie 2:26.67, finishing in 3rd. And we're looking for Nico Hero, who finished 6th in 2:31.62, and in the 15 years competition. That doesn't guarantee a place in the final yet. Nico Hero, as you'll see then, 2:31.62. And he does qualify, in fact, for the 15s final. Alex Cantley, 2:32.67. Has to wait and see if he qualifies for the 16 years, but I don't think it will be good enough. We're going on to Heat 9. In this heat, we have Johnny Martin for Perth City, Joseph Bale for Mount Kelly, Joshua Sackery for City of Peterborough, Joseph Storr for City of Coventry, Hugh Mason-Williams for City of Birmingham, Gregor Ross for City of Glasgow, Leo Condy for Poole, George Pearce, City of Liverpool, Charlie Riddell, Team Ipswich, and Lachlan Small for Mount Kelly. Joseph Bale, 2 lanes from the top of the picture, is a 15 years swimmer. Also 15 years in 3 and 2, Leo Condy and George Pearce. And we have a 17-18 swimmer in this heat with a chance of qualifying for the final, I would say. So leading the way, it's Joseph Bale, and Joseph is 15 years of age. We've already seen him win in his age group gold medals for 50 and 100 breaststroke. So no surprise that he's leading the way at the halfway turn, followed into the wall by Joshua Sakri.
Joseph Bale still in first place, but only by 0.28 on the second. Leo Condy in lane 3.
So it's Bale, then Sakri, and now in the middle of the pool, Gregor Ross and Hugh Mason-Williams coming to the fore. Joseph Bale, if anything, seems to be increasing his lead. It's Bale, and then Mason-Williams. And Mason was much faster over that last 50 than anyone else in the pool. So watch Hugh Mason-Williams in lane 5 because he's really coming through. Bale and Mason-Williams first and second, with Gregor Ross third. Joseph Bale will certainly qualify for the 15s final with this performance. Into the wall then. Hugh Mason-Williams has got a season best of 2:25, so he's beaten that. Joseph Bale, 2:24.29, that's a new PB. Joseph Bale, 2:24.29, the fastest 15-year-old swimmer so far, so he qualifies for the final. We're looking for George Pearce and Leo Condy as well. They're 7th and 8th, 2:26, and they will both qualify as well for the 15 years final. We'll get their times confirmed that for you now. 7th and 8th there, George Pearce, Leo Condy, 2:26.42, 2:26.48. They're into the 15 years final. Hugh Mason-Williams might qualify for the 18s with that, 2:23.66. On to heat 10. In heat 10, the first of the circle seeded heats then, because there are 3 heats left. It's Harry Mack for Portsmouth North Sea, Benjamin Pedergill for Camden Swiss Cottage, Cantuk Chetin for the University of Birmingham, Leon Taylor, City of Brighton and Hove, Alexander Sanchez for Kingston Royals, Maxwell Anderson for City of Cardiff, Tyler Stone for City of Norwich, Charlie Carr for Guildford City, Charles Kershaw for Swansea University, Harry West for Bristol and South Gloucestershire. Cantuk Chetin turning first. We have 16 years swimmers here in lane 8, Benjamin Pedergill, lane 3, Tyler Stone, and lane 2, Charlie Calf. We have 17-18 swimmers in the outside lanes, Harry Mack and Harry West, and everybody else is in the 19s and overs. It's Cantuk Chetin coming to halfway in the lead, with Alexander Sanchez actually touching the wall first. Third at the turn, Tyler Stone. And remember, Tyler is a 16 years swimmer. Coming up to the final turn, and Alexander Sanchez has opened a gap over Cantuk Chetin. So Sanchez then took Chetin, and Tyler Stone third. Leon Taylor really coming back, but Sanchez is pulling away from the rest now. So Alexander Sanchez.
3 16-year-olds on this one, Charlie Carp in 2, Tyler Stone at 3.
Looks like Alexander Sanchez is comfortably on his way to his final. Alexander Sanchez in the 19s and overs. Should qualify with this time. 217.86. So yes, he's into his final. Tyler Stone, 16-year-old, 220.31. And that puts him into the 16 years final. Charlie Calf there, 221.73, also into the 16 years final. And finishing 8th, Benjamin Pedergill, 225.12 qualifies for the 16-year final. So all of the 16-year swimmers there qualified. Tyler Stone, Charlie Calf, Benjamin Pedergill. Alex Sanchez qualifies for the 19s and overs. Leon Taylor will almost certainly qualify too. Harry West should qualify for the 17s, 18s with 224.01. In fact, he will qualify with that time for sure. On to heat 11, 2 heats to come. In Heat 11, we have Marcus Haig for Wickham District, Jacob Barnett for City of Sunderland, Leroy Sheep for Redditch, Ryan Flood for Leander, then the empty lane. Then it's Olivier Vedren, Wilfred Lee for Millfield. I don't think I mentioned that Olivier Vedren is for University of Stirling, Wilfred Lee for Millfield, Henry Guppy for Millfield, Freddie Laws for West Norfolk, and Roger Davis for Bristol and South Gloucestershire. 3 swimmers getting to the first turn. Very close to one another. 0.03 separating Olivier Vedren, Leroy Sheep and Ryan Flood. In this heat, we have one 16-year swimmer, Leroy Sheep, in lane 7. We have 17, 18 swimmers in lanes 9, 6, 3, 2 and 0. Marcus Haig, Ryan Flood, Wilfred Lee, Henry Guppy and Roger Davis. And everybody else in the 19s and overs. Olivier Vedren now pulling away.
The only 19 over swimmers in this one are in lanes 1, 4 and 8. One 16-year-old, Leroy Sheep, goes in lane 7. In the second race. 16-year-old on lane 3.
So Vedren will turn first ahead of Ryan Flood. And then third at that turn is Leroy Sheep. Vedren, his personal best is more than 3 seconds quicker than anyone else in this heat. So no surprise that he's gliding away. The fastest time so far for 19s and overs was 217.8 from Alex Sanchez in the last heat. We're just outside that, I think. 218.55 for Vedren. Ryan Flood, 220.05. He'll qualify for the 17-18 final with that time. Leroy Sheep, 222.60. And he qualifies for the 16 years final for sure with that swim. So for 17s and 18s then, we will see Ryan Flood qualify. Wilfred Lee and Henry Guppy also qualify. Everybody else has to wait and see because there's one heat to come. It's heat 12. 9 swimmers in Heat 12. They are Xiang Yang for Abingdon Vale, Elliot Mayeur for Noffia Gwynedd Performance, Charlie Rogers for Basildon and Phoenix, Lucas Lavelle for Portsmouth Northsea, Dan Ransom, City of Leeds, Christian Ryan, University of Bath, Luke Ibbison for Loughborough University, Pravi Mahendra Kumar for Bromley. Then there's the empty lane, lane 1, and swimming closest to us is Brogan Smith for Glen Rothus. Christian Ryan turning in 30.22 ahead of Daniel Ransom. Lucas Lovell was third at the turn. Brogan Smith, nearest swimmers to us, is a 15 years swimmer, and he should qualify for his final. The target for Brogan to beat is 2:31.6 to qualify, and he's got a PB of 2:23. So I think we can safely say Brogan Smith's going to qualify for his final. Let's concentrate on 16-year swimmers at the top of the screen. That's Xiang Yang and Elliot Mayeur. They turn their 7th and 9th. So Elliot and Xiang. And the target time for those two to qualify for their final is 2:29.44. So if those swimmers get under 2:29.44, they will be in their final. And we have swimmers in the 17, 18s as well here, and the 19s and overs. And we'll try to confirm when they finish exactly who has qualified. Out in front then, Christian Ryan in the 19s and overs. And coming back is Dan Ransom, who's a 17th, 18th swimmer. Both of these swimmers are going to qualify for their final. Into the wall then, it's Christian Ryan with a pretty comfortable swim of 2:14.27. So he'll be the fastest qualifier for the 19s and over final. He'll be in lane 4. Dan Ransom in the 17s and 18s, 2:16.57. He'll be in lane 4. He's the fastest qualifier for his age group. Lucas Lavelle qualifies with 2:18.76 for the same final. And you'll see here Brogan Smith in 8th place, a 15 years swimmer. And he'll be the fastest qualifier for his final. He'll be in lane 4 in the 15s final. The two 16 swimmers there, Elliot Mayeur and Xiang Yang, both qualify comfortably for the 16s final as well. But they won't be in the middle of the pool. They are the 4th and 5th fastest qualifiers for their final. And Pravi Mahendra Kumar, 2:20.52. That qualifies for the 19s and over. So does Luke Ibsen. I think all 9 swimmers there made it to their finals. Our next event is women's 200 metres butterfly. 12 heats. This is heat 1. And the swimmers in Heat 1 from the far side, Charlie Hall for Warren de Baths, Addison Cropper for City of Leeds, Abby Coventry for Morpeth, Esme Moore for Bolton Metro, Matilda Bristow for City of Liverpool, Eve Palmer for Winchester City Penguins, and Chloe Morley for City of Leicester. Esme Moore in lane 4, looks like she is leading. 4 lengths of the pool of butterfly. It's Moore, and then Eve Palmer second at the turn, and Matilda Bristow third. All swimmers bar 1 in this heat are 13s and 14s. Abby Coventry in lane 5 is a 15 years swimmer. And we're looking for PBs in this heat of around, well, under 2:30. If we can get swimmers under 2 minutes 30 seconds, then in this heat they've had a brilliant swim. So it's Esme Moore, Matilda Bristow second, Charlie Hall turned third there in lane 7, Eve Palmer was 4th, Chloe Morley nearest to us was 5th, and it's Abby Coventry 6th at that halfway point, and Addison Cropper turned 7th.
14 years old, by the time that's
We're aiming to get under 2 minutes 30 for as many of these swimmers as we can. This will be the final turn. Esme Moore turning first, Matilda Bristow just behind, and then Charlie Hoare. Some of these swimmers look like they are on course for PBs. I think our first two here, Esme Moore and Matilda Bristow, looking like they have found the form for their fastest ever swims. Let's get as many of these swimmers under 2:30 as we can. And accelerating now, Matilda Bristow, getting past Esme Moore. Matilda Bristow into the last five she comes, under 2:30, 2:27.63. That's a new personal best time. Esme Moore, 2:28.27, equals her previous best time. So that's an equal lifetime best for Esme Moore as well. Charlie Hoare, 2:30.69, finishing in third. So two swimmers under 2:30 in that heat. That's great swimming. And if you get a PB at this competition, you've put everything together, you've got it all right on the day, you can leave very happy. It's not just about qualifying for finals. It's about coming to big championships and figuring out how to swim your best when it matters. On to heat 2. 10 swimmers in this heat. And the swimmers are Harper Aspinall for Wirral Metro, Anna Mason for City of Peterborough, Evelyn Berry for Chippenham, Jasmine Scott for City of St Albans, Millie Morgan for Teddington, Isla Perry for Warrington Warriors, Molly Bates for Ellesmere College Swimming Academy, Sienna West for Wickham District, Elkie Foster for City of Leeds, and Malika Azana Ball for City of Leeds. In this heat, we have a mixture of 13-14 swimmers. They are in lanes 9, Harper Aspinall, 8, Anna Mason, 5, Millie Morgan, and 4, Isla Perry. And the other 6 swimmers in this heat are 15 years swimmers. Leading the way on the near side in lane 0, Malika Azana Ball. So Malika comfortably ahead of the rest here. 66.78 at that turn. By far the quickest over that last 50 metres. She is the gold medal winner for the 15 years 200 free and 200 metres individual medley. Her entry time only ranked her 21st in the 15 years age group for this event. But it has to be said, this swim looks like it's going to qualify for a final for Malika Azana Ball for the 15 years age group. 1:44.05 at the turn. Jasmine Scott has pulled out in lane 6. Let's hope that's not an injury for Jasmine Scott in lane 6, but she will not finish this heat. Malika Azana Ball coming into the last 15 metres then. Her PB is 2:24.90, and she's going to smash that. This is definitely going to get in the final, surely. Malika Azana Ball, 2:22.24. It's a 2-second PB. Elkie Foster, 2:27.66. That's a great time for Elkie. And Molly Bates, 2:28.08. Harper Aspinall, 2:28.87. Malika Azana Ball puts herself in contention for a place in the 15 years final. That is going to be a tough time for anyone to beat. Malika Azana ball then, 222.24. That's probably the only time we would expect there that might qualify for a final. Azana ball, 222.24. Elkie Foster, also 15 years, 226.66 might qualify. Molly Bates, 228.08 might qualify. Harper Aspinall might qualify for 13s, 14s. We do have to wait and see. On to heat 3. And the swimmers in this heat are Megan Barnicoat for City of Peterborough, Annie Fulkes for Morpeth, Eleanor Deakin for Teddington, Alana Maddock for Eastleigh, Isla Clark for Rotherham Metro, Matilda Boyce for Bracknell and Wokingham, Holly Coleman for Corby, Catherine Noble for Newcastle Swim Team, Amy Sanders for Dunstable, and Rachel Ho for City of Birmingham. In this heat, we have swimmers in the 15-year age group in lanes 9, 5, 4 and 3. That's Megan Barnicoat, Isla Clark, Matilda Boyce and Holly Coleman. We have 14-year swimmers in 8 and 1, Annie Fulkes and Amy Sanders, and we could get them to qualify for the final with this swim. That's possible. We also have 17, 18 swimmers in 7, 6 and 2. Eleanor Deakin, Alana Maddock and Catherine Noble. Turning first then, Rachel Ho, 67.08. And Rachel is a 16 years swimmer. And we are watching lanes 8 and 1 closely here. Annie Fulkes and Amy Sanders. It's Amy Sanders who is leading. Amy Sanders, then Rachel Ho, Holly Coleman, Matilda Boyce, then Eleanor Deakin. And Amy Sanders now looking good in the final 25 metres. Also finishing well, Catherine Noble. Matilda Boyce, Holly Coleman also coming back very strongly. It's between Amy Sanders and Catherine Noble. Amy Sanders, if she can get under 227.63, she's into her final. So Amy Sanders will qualify with 225.51 for sure. She's in the 13-14 final. Catherine Noble winning the heat, 225.00. The other potential qualifier there was Annie Fulkes, 229.32. And 229.32 is a wait and see time. Annie Fulkes not guaranteed to qualify yet, but Amy Sanders definitely into the 13-14 final with that time. And in terms of 15s, Holly Coleman there is the third fastest 15-year-old. We go on to heat 4. In heat 4, the swimmers are Tiffany Latham for the Royal Score Wolverhampton, Isla Thied for Camden Swiss Cottage, Summer Miller for Bishop Stortford, Chloe Gent for City of Leicester, Alana Donlan for Warrington Warriors, Emma Hill for Teddington, Anna Miles Simonite for West Dorset, Josie Amy James for City of Birmingham, Holly Jocelyn for Repton, and Matilda Bassendale for Portsmouth North Sea. Anna Miles Simonite turning first in 31.00, followed by Josie Amy James. Josie is a 16 years swimmer. We have 4 swimmers in this heat who might well qualify for their finals. In 8 and 7, Isla Thied, Summer Miller, and in lane 1 as well, Holly Jocelyn. They're all 13, 14 swimmers. And we have 15 years swimmers as well. Alana Donlan in 5, Emma Hill in 4. So as well as looking for PBs for everyone, we are looking for qualification for finals, potentially, for some of those swimmers. And leading the way, Anna Miles Simonite comfortably, followed by Holly Jocelyn, who looks like she's on course for a place in the 13-14 final. At the turn then, with 50 metres left, it's still Anna Miles Simonite, 145.14, ahead of Holly Jocelyn and Josie Amy James. To qualify for the 13-14 final, the target time for Holly Jocelyn, Summer Miller and Isla Thied is 2:30.13 as we watch Holly Jocelyn come in. 2:30 to qualify. She does qualify. Summer Miller second there. She qualifies for her final 2:26.47. Chloe Gents in the 16 years age group there, 2:26.72. We have to wait and see. Lots of 16-year swimmers to come. I'll check that for you in a second. But qualifying from that heat for finals, Holly Jocelyn, Summer Miller in the 13s and 14s. Isla Thied will not qualify with 2:32.54. On to heat 5. In Heat 5 we have Keris Griffiths for Pembrokeshire County, Layla Weatherspoon for Heart of Midlothian, Lily Deller for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Katie Aitchison for Warren de Baths, Camilla Holland for Wigan Best, Mai Hayakawa for Barnet Copthall, Grace O'Hara for City of Leeds, Phoebe Wetherill for City of Wakefield, Akimi Futatsugi for City of Bristol, and Cleo Houghton for Portsmouth North Sea. And it's Akemi Futatsugi with Katie Aitchison at the turn, just a 1/10 of a second between those two swimmers at the wall. We have a 13-14 swimmer in lane 3, Grace O'Hara. And she may well qualify for her final. We have two 15-year swimmers in 6 and 5, Katie Aitchison and Camilla Holland, who are trying to qualify for their final. And at the moment, they are right up with the leaders, Katie and Camilla. Halfway then, and it's Futatsugi turning first in 67.45, followed in there by two 15-year-olds, Katie Aitchison and Camilla Holland. Grace O'Hara turning 8th there, trying to qualify for the 13-14 final.
2:26.7. Kenny's PB is 2:24.4.
Akemi Futatsugi looking strong. And now those 15-year swimmers, Katie Aitchison and Camilla Holland, really closing in. Phoebe Wetherill now fighting her way back in lane 2. Aitchison turned first. Katie Aitchison then, the leader in lane 6. And that's the 15 years age group. So to qualify for the final for our 15-year swimmers, we need a time under 2:27 would definitely make it. As everybody comes into the wall here, we've got 5 swimmers all coming in together. Who's going to get the touch? It's Leda Weatherspoon who finished the strongest, 2:24.93. Great swim there, great finish. Katie Aitchison, 2:25.29, qualifies for the 15 years final. Phoebe Wetherill, 2:25.37 in the 16 years age group. Akemi Futatsugi then. Now let's have a look at potential qualifiers here. Grace O'Hara, 2:30.38. I don't think that will get into the 13-14 final. Katie Aitchison does qualify, as you said. So does Camilla Holland for the 15 years final. On to heat 6. The swimmers in this heat are Olivia Greenall for City of Norwich, Jessica Long for Bromley, Ellie McLeod for Woking, Evangeline Belts for Plymouth College Aquatics, Rosie Grosvenor for City of Birmingham, Alice Weston for Watford, Lauren Berry for Wirral Metro, Lois Ward for Nuneaton and Bedworth, Darcy Jackson for Tadcaster York Sports, and Amber Hinton for Dumfries. And at the turn, the leader is Darcy Jackson, swimming in lane 1. We have 15-year swimmers in this heat in lanes 8, 7, 5 and 2. Jessica Long, Ellie McLeod, Rosie Grosvenor and Lois Ward. And we have a 16-year swimmer in lane 3, Lauren Berry. Those 5 swimmers, potential final swimmers. Amber Hinton as well in lane 0, I should say, also a 16 years swimmer. So 2 16 years swimmers in this heat. Darcy Jackson leading. Second at the turn, Evangeline Belts. Then Jessica Long, one of our 15-year swimmers. She's the leading 15-year swimmer, just ahead of Lois Ward. Lauren Berry, joint 4th at the turn there for the 16 years, leading the 16-year swimmers in this heat. Darcy Jackson first at the moment, with Evangeline Belts in second, and I think Jessica Long in third. It's Jackson at the final turn. 1:43.86 from Belts, and then Long. And we're looking at lanes 8, 7, 5 and 2 as well. Jessica Long leading the 15-year swimmers. Also going well for the 15s is Lois Ward. So Jessica Long and Lois Ward look like they may well qualify for the 15 years final with this swim. Let's have a look then at the time for Evangeline Belts. She's got a season's best of 2:23. That's 2:22.29. So the fastest swim of the year for Evangeline Belts. And I think Jessica Long and Lois Ward should both qualify for the 15-year final with their times, 2:24. Let's have a look at those 15-year swimmers then. And here come the results confirmed. Jessica Long, 2:24.4. Lois Ward, 2:25.08. They both qualify. Rosie Grosvenor probably will qualify for with 2:27.45, but it isn't confirmed. On to heat 7. In this heat, we have Jasmine Bax for Mount Kelly, Summer Everson for Watford, Madeline Hine for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Gracie Owen for Torfin Dolphins Performance. India Brown for Mount Kelly. Louise Levina for Willesden Rapids. Then 2 empty lanes. And the 2 swimmers closest to us are Darcy Smith and Amy Jones. Those 2 swimmers on the near side are both 16-year swimmers. So too India Brown in 5. Jasmine Bax on the far side is a 13-14 swimmer in lane 9. Lane 6, Gracie Owen is leading the way. And Gracie's in the 17-18 age group. At the halfway turn, it's going to be Gracie Owen to turn first. 65.59. Leading the 16-year-olds, Darcy Smith in 1, just ahead of Amy Jones. And in 7th place at that turn, India Brown. Those are the 3 16-year-olds, Smith, Jones and Brown, in that order. And Jasmine Bax turning 8th there. Looks like she'll qualify for the 13-14s with this swim. Summer Everson now taking the lead as we go to the final turn. So it's Everson, then Gracie Owen, Madeline Hines, Darcy Smith, the leading 16-year-old, just ahead of Amy Jones, and India Brown in 7th there. She's the 3rd 16-year swimmer. Jasmine Bax 153.8 at that turn. And Jasmine Bax to qualify for the 13-14 final. I think she's going to do that pretty comfortably, even though she is 10th at the moment in this heat. Into the wall we come then. Summer Everson 219.71. Gracie Owen 221.30. For Summer, that's a 3-second PB winning the heat. Brilliant swim. Gracie Owen 221.30. Darcy Smith with 221.33 qualifies for the 16 years final. And looking then for the 16-year-olds, Darcy Smith, Amy Jones, they both qualify. India Brown will miss out on the 16 final there. Jasmine Bax, 233.78. And actually, that's not going to make it into the 13-14 final. Heat 8. Our swimmers in this heat are Sophia Simonis for Leatherhead, Ella Faulkner for Ellesmere College Swimming Academy, Evie Cutter for Wigan Best, Lily Stansfield for Harrogate District, Jessica Lyons for City of Leicester, Gemma Dilks for Tiverton, Eleanor Porter for Camden Swiss Cottage, Henrietta Chick for Winsford, Rose O'Brien for Portsmouth North Sea, and Isabella Nightingale Ellis for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson. I said Isabella, so it's Ilana Nightingale Ellis for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson. Lily Stansfield turning first. And Lily won the 16 years 50 metres butterfly yesterday. She was the gold medalist in our final yesterday evening. The swimmers in this heat, in their age groups, we have 13-14 swimmer Sophia Simonis at the top of the picture in lane 9. We have Lily Stansfield, as I mentioned, in 6 as a 16 swimmer. We have Eleanor Porter in 3 and Rose O'Brien in 1, and they are 15 years swimmers. So 4 swimmers there who will be watching closely for final qualifications. Lanes 9, 6, 3 and 1. Going well in lane 9, Sophia Simonis. Simonis leading the way. Simonis turning there in 1:44.25. Second at the turn was Henrietta Chick. 3 lanes from the bottom of the picture. Remember, we're looking for qualifying times really for Simonis in 9, Stansfield maybe in 6, Eleanor Poulter in 3, and Rose O'Brien in 1. We're watching all of those times as we come to the wall. Simonis in the 13-14 age group. Her PB is 222.53, and it's very close, 222.45. So a new personal best for Sophia Simonis. Into the final for 13-14 swimmers she goes. Second there, Henrietta Chick, followed by Evie Cutter. Sophia Simonis, the fastest qualifier so far for 13-14. She's into her final for the 15 years there. We're looking at Rose O'Brien. She qualifies. Eleanor Porter qualifies in the 16s. Lily Stansfield with a time there of 2:27.44. I don't think that will make the final. Now we're on to heat 9. Now swimmers in heat 9 are Millie Threlfall for City of Leeds, Emily Toms for Swansea University, Lily Lambert for Leatherhead, Lydia Shipley for Middlesbrough, Isabel Brand for Rugby, Joanne Andrews for Ellesmere College Swimming Academy, Fionn Ellsby Adams for Millfields, Francesca Harrison for City of Leeds, then the empty lane, and closest to us is Hattie Lever for Whitney and District. First to turn, Isabel Brand. Isabel's in the 17-18 age group. Lydia Shipley turning second there is a 15 years swimmer. She's the only 15 years swimmer in this heat. We have a 16 years swimmer as well, Joanne Andrews in 4. And we could get qualifiers here for the 19s and over final. Emily Toms in lane 8 is a potential finalist. Eve Horton in Emily Toms in lane 8 is a potential finalist in that category, and she is leading 66.27. So it is Emily Toms leading the way. Emily will definitely qualify for the final if she swims under 222.29. That's guaranteed.
16-year-old Joanne Andrews.
In fact, I think 228 probably is a cut-off for the 19 and overs final at the moment. So Emily Toms looks like she is going to qualify for the 19s and overs final. In lane 4, we have Joanne Andrews trying to get into the 16 years final. And in lane 6, Lydia Shipley fighting for a place in the 15 years final. I think these first 3 swimmers are all likely to qualify. So into the wall we come. And it's going to be Lydia Shipley in 220.92. Into the 15 years final, Lydia goes. Emily Toms, 222.03. Definitely qualifying there for the 19s and overs final. Joanne Andrews, 222.18. And she is into the 16 years final for sure. And everybody else in the 17s and 18s, you have to wait and see, because we have lots of 17s and 18s still to swim. Our first 2 swimmers, they're all qualifying for finals. Lydia Shipley, Emily Toms, Joanne Andrews. And then Lily Lambert, Millie Threlfall will have to wait to see if their times will qualify. I have to say, it seems unlikely that Lily and Millie will get into the final. But it's not impossible. It depends what happens in the remaining heats. We have 3 heats left. This is heat 10. In this heat, we have Erin Hawkins for City of Birmingham, Olivia Hunter for Swansea University, Jessica Huggins for Swim Bournemouth, Catherine Ellen Roberts for Swansea University, Lucia Leslie for Repton, Abby Roscoe for Wirral Metro, Seren Talentire for Morpeth, Fruka Ludwig for Loughborough University, Emily England Hall, City of Leeds, and in lane 0, that is Arabella Newport Derbyshire for Abingdon Vale. Seren Talentire first to turn in lane 3. It's possible that we could get 8 swimmers here qualifying for finals. We'll tell you who's definitely in finals when they reach the wall. We have a 14-year swimmer, Emily England Hall, in lane 1. And we have 17, 18 swimmers in 9, Erin Hawkins, 7, Jessica Huggins, 5, Lucia Leslie, 4, Abby Roscoe, 3, Seren Talentire, 2, Fruka Ludwig, and in lane 0, Arabella Newport Derbyshire. The other 2 swimmers, Olivia Hunter in 8 and Catherine Ellen Roberts, are 19s and overs. Emily England Hall, bottom of the picture, yellow cap, could well qualify for the 13-14 final, even though she's a few seconds behind most of the rest. So we'll keep an eye on those times. Seren Talentire leading then in the 17-18 age group. The fastest 17-18 time we've seen so far was Summer Everson with 2:19.71. If Seren goes under 2:19, she's going to be in the final. And Abby Roscoe may well qualify as well. We'd expect Abby Roscoe to qualify as well with that time. Lucia Leslie possibly qualifying as well. Now, Emily England Hall, 2:24.10. She finishes 9th there, but she's into the 13-14 final. So Emily England Hall, 9th place, qualifies for the 13-14 final for sure. Seren Talentire will be in the 17s and 18s. Here we go. So in 13-14 age group, Emily England Hall qualifies. And in the 17s, 18s, Seren Talentire's into the final. Everybody else has to wait and see. In 19s and overs there, Catherine Roberts qualified as we go on to Heat 11. In Heat 11, it's Evelyn Toy, Evie Young. Evelyn for Bristol and South Gloucestershire, Evie for Mount Kelly. Then it's Rin Mayo for Camden Swiss Cottage. Then the empty lane. Lane 5 is Lydia Caudle for Repton. Lane 4, Shannon Stott for City of Sheffield. Lane 3, Amelia Fenner for Basildon and Phoenix. Lane 2, Alyssa Lowe, City of Leicester. Lane 1, Olivia Sheehan for the University of Birmingham. And lane 0 is Ivy Haggerty for Thanet. Shannon Stott leading the way in 29.54. And Shannon was a bronze medalist in this event last year. So it's Shannon Stott, then Amelia Fenner and Lydia Caudle. In this heat, we have Rin Mayo in lane 7, who's a 13-14 swimmer. In lane 5, Lydia Caudle, and lane 3, Amelia Fenner. They're both 16-year swimmers. They could qualify for their final here. We have 17-18 swimmers in 9, Evelyn Toy, 8, Evie Young, 2, Alyssa Lowe, and 0, Ivy Haggerty. And 19s and overs, it's Shannon Stott, who's swimming her way into the final, and Olivia Sheehan in lane 1. No doubt about it, Shannon Stott is going to make the 19s and overs final with this swim. So Shannon Stotts looking very strong here. Into the last 15 metres she goes. Shannon Stotts. And Shannon with a very good time, 2:12.99 into the 19s and overs final she goes. Evie Young, second there, 2:19.58. That will almost certainly qualify for the final for Evie Young. Let's have a look at Rin Mayo, the youngest swimmer in that heat, 2:23.16. She's into the 13-14 final. She'll be in lane 5 in that final. In the 16 years age group there, we've got Amelia Fenner qualifies, Lydia Caudle qualifies. And in the 17s, 18s, Evie Young does qualify. On to heat 12, the final heat. In this heat, we've got 2 empty lanes, so there are 8 swimmers. Grace Yardley on the far side for Brompton, Chloe Barnard for Basildon and Phoenix, Sophia Gledhill for University of Surrey. Then the first empty lane. In the white cap, Edith Price for Mount Kelly, Betsy Wizard for Northampton, Charlotte Johnson for Swansea University, Sadie Hunter for City of Peterborough, and Iris Hurst for Warrington Warriors. And in this heat, we have 16 year swimmers, Grace Yardley in lane 9, who turned 4th there. And 6th at the turn, Iris Hurst. They are 16 year swimmers. In the 17s, 18s, that's Chloe Barnard, 2 lanes from the top in lane 8. Edith Price in lane 5 and Sadie Hunter in lane 2. And in the 19s and overs, Sophia Gledhill, Betsy Wizard and Charlotte Johnson in 7, 4 and 3 respectively. Betsy Wizard turning first at halfway, 63.86. And Edith Price second there in the 17s and 18s. Edith Price in lane 5 will turn first with 50 metres to go. Edith 1:38.80 at that turn. And Edith's in the 17s, 18s. Edith's going to qualify for her final. I have no doubt about that. Charlotte Johnson and Betsy Wizard in 2nd and 3rd. They should get into the 19s and overs final with this swim. Edith Price then into the wall. And it's 2:13.39. That's the fastest time for a 17, 18-year-old. She'll be in lane 4 in the final. Charlotte Johnson, 2:14.99. Qualifies for the 19s and over. Betsy Wizard into the final as well. Sadie Hunter, 18 years to 18.61. She qualifies as well. Let's run through these then. In the 17s and 18s, Edith Price qualifies. Sadie Hunter qualifies. Chloe Barnard will miss out. In the 16 years, Iris Hurst and Grace Yardley both qualify. And in the 19s and overs, Charlotte Johnson into the final. We're on to men's 100 metres butterfly next. 13 heats to come. And in heat 1, we have 4 swimmers. In this heat, the swimmers are Kai Bradford in lane 6 for Killer Whales, Sean Mooney also for Killer Whales, Victor Gora for Scarborough, and Thomas Navarro-Barber for Portsmouth North Sea. In 6 and 3, Kai Bradford and Thomas Navarro-Barber are para swimmers, both in S9 classification, so we'll see their points totals at the end of the race. And Sean Mooney and Victor Gora are 13-14 age group. So as we get into the last 25 metres, it's Sean Mooney and Victor Gora. And under 64 seconds would be a good time for either of these swimmers. Into the last 5 metres, they're both going under 64. It's PBs for both. Victor Gora, 62.53. And Sean Mooney, 62.61. They will both have to wait and see how fast swimmers need to go to get into the 13-14 final. Kai Bradford and Thomas Navarro-Barber. Well, Kai Bradford scored 639 points there with 67.27. And Thomas scored 551 points. We're waiting for the results to be confirmed. And as long as there are no disqualifications, we should have 2 qualifiers for a final there. Kai Bradford and Thomas Navarro-Barber, but it's not confirmed yet. Here it comes. We are going on to Heat 2. In this heat, we have Leo Lee for City of Leeds, Rowan Brennan for Basildon and Phoenix, Ali Jamili for City of Leicester, Thomas Stanimirov for Plymouth College Aquatics, Thomas Maydell for Basingstoke Bluefins, Edward Gregory for Repton, Tyler Barber for City of Manchester Aquatics, Jake Atkinson for Basildon and Phoenix, Robert James for Epping Forest, and Ethan Dwyer for City of Liverpool. Thomas Stanimirov turning first. He's a 13-14 swimmer. 9 of these swimmers are 13-14s. Rowan Brennan in lane 8 is a para swimmer, classification S10. Leading the way then, Thomas Stanimirov. But now coming through Tyler Barber, Jake Atkinson and Robert James into the last 10. And it's heads down then into the wall. Who's going to get there first? It's Stanimirov with 61.66. Followed by Robert James in 61.96 seconds and Jake Atkinson in 62.04. And we could get qualifiers here for the 13-14 final. We do have them. Thomas Stanimirov qualifies and Robert James qualifies, both into the 13-14 final there. Rowan Brennan will be in the mixed classification final with 65.64. Should be said that's a PB for both Thomas Stanimirov and Robert James as they qualify for the final. Jake Atkinson and Edward Gregory there will have to wait and see if their times are fast enough. On to Heat 3. In this heat, it's Frankie Zeitel for Barnet Copthorne, Jack Fielder for Poole, Evan Lau for City of Birmingham, Ivan Igemoni for Thurrock, Rhys Lingett for Ellesmere College, Luke Nevin Suarez for Winsford, Charles Yao for Brompton, Amrit Lally for Bexley, Daniel Machula for Chalfont Otters, and Rhys Ferguson for Wren 96. In this heat, we have 6 swimmers in the outside lanes who are 13s and 14s. So on the far side of the pool, that's Frankie Zeitel, Jack Fielder and Evan Lau. And on the near side of the pool, Amrit Lally, Daniel Machula and Rhys Ferguson. And they're all fighting for places in those finals. In the middle of the pool, it's Rhys Lingett who is going to touch first. And that's 60.64 is a new PB for Rhys. Ivan Igemoni in 61.52. That's a good time for him. Looking in the outside lanes, Amrit Lally, 61.68 qualifies for the 13-14 final. Jack Fielder will qualify. Frankie Zeitel qualifies. Daniel Machula will have to wait and see. And Rhys Lingett might qualify with 60.64, but he'll have to wait. Not confirmed at this point.
This is heat 4.
We go on to heat 4. In this heat, we have Mihailo Vukovic for Ealing in 9, Noah Willer for Borough of Waltham Forest Gators in 8, then it's Leo Maros for Bromley, Jason Lee for City of Birmingham, Zachary Callinan for Maidenhead, Jason van der Merwe for Newham University of East London, Oliver Ratchford, Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Nathan Broadwater for Plymouth College Aquatics, Cameron Verncamp for Portsmouth North Sea, and George Harrison for Kingston upon Hull. Jason van der Merwe turning first, Cameron Verncamp second. They are para swimmers, S14 classification, the two leaders. Very interesting to watch lanes 9 and 6 here. Mihailo Vukovic and Jason Lee. They are trying to qualify for the 13-14 final. Mihailo Vukovic looks like he's on his way to that final in lane 9. And in the middle of the pool then, Jason van der Merwe scores 756 points with a time of 59.45. Mihailo Vukovic, 59.72. He'll be in lane 4. He's the fastest qualifier for the 13-14 final. Third, there was Zachary Callinan in 59.76. And Jason Lee finishing fourth in 60.62. He will be in lane 5 in the 13-14 final. So Mihailo Vukovic and Jason Lee, the fastest qualifiers for 13s and 14s. Zachary Callinan will have to wait and see if he qualifies for the 15 years final with 59.76. That is the fastest time so far by a 15-year-old swimmer. And we still have 10 swimmers to come. So if Zachary Callinan beats any of the 15-year swimmers in the next heat, he's into the final. On to heat 5. Heat 5 has Alex Freeman from Morpeth, then an empty lane. Lane 7 is Archie Maguire, City of Sunderland. Lane 6, Quinn Austin Kelly for Skipton. Lane 5, Jude Gunner for Norwich Swan. In lane 4, Elijah Dunn for Swindon Dolphin. In 3, Andrew Noakes, Portsmouth North Sea. Lane 2, Zach Walker for Thurrock. Lane 1, Jake Battle for Repton. And lane 0, Julian Ockroyd for Delting Dolphins. In this heat, most of the swimmers 15 years of age. We have 7 15-year-olds trying to get in the 15 years final. We have para swimmers in lane 6 and 5, Quinn Austin Kelly and Jude Gunner, both S14 classification. And leading the way is Jake Battle in lane 1 into the last 5. And the time is 58.45. He's into the 15 years final with that. Elijah Dunn, 59.29, qualifies as well. Quinn Austin Kelly, 59.40, scores 758 points. He'll be in the mixed classification final. Jude Gunner, 59.79, scores 744 points. He's in the mixed classification final. Julian Ockroyd with 60.03 then qualifies for the 15s final. And looking at the other 15 years there, Andrew Noakes qualifies. Zach Walker qualifies. Archie Maguire qualifies. Alex Freeman will miss out on the final with 61.34. But the first 8 swimmers there all qualifying for their finals. On to heat 6. In heat 6, we have Jaden Carter for Mount Kelly, Lachlan Murray for Wickham District, George Bailey for Mount Kelly, Finley Mooney for Gloucester City, Will Gibson for Durham City, Azret Delanin for Chelsea and Westminster, Stan Sawyer for York City Baths, Jaden Phillips for Newman University of East London, Tarek Bluck for Worcester, and Patrick O'Hara, City of Leeds. At the turn, it's Tarek Bluck, who's a 16-year swimmer. We have 7 16-year swimmers in this heat. Lachlan Murray in 8, George Bailey in 7, Azret Delanin in 4, Stan Sawyer in 3, Jaden Phillips in 2, Tarek Bluck in 1, and Patrick O'Hara in 0. And it still looks like Tarek Bluck, but Azret Delanin is finishing very well in 4, and actually Azret's going to get there, and Finley Mooney's in the top 3 as well. Finley Mooney gets the 2nd place. So the winning time there, Azret Delanin in 57.73. That's a PB for Azret. Finley Mooney 2nd in 58.08, also with a personal best time. Azret 57.73, Finley Mooney 58.08. Jaden Carter there, 15 years swimmer, qualifies for his final. On to heat 7. In heat 7, we have Lucas Thomas for Nothio Gwynedd Performance, Toby Nakamura-Drew for Plymouth College Aquatics, Wilfred Lee for Millfield, Adam Michael for Tynemouth, Jasper Harrison for Borders Elites, Jack Bamborough for City of Cardiff, Owen Wilson for Ramsbottom, Benjamin Dale Wood for Thirsk Whitehorse, Jack Hurst for Borough of Kirklees, and Oscar Winterburn for Team Ipswich. Turning first there was Owen Wilson. We have a 15-year swimmer in lane 1 here, Jack Hurst. Toby Nakamura-Drew looking good in lane 8, 2 from the top of the screen. It's Nakamura-Drew who's going to win this heat. Toby's PB 56.64, it's right on top of that, 57.38. Jack Hurst finishing 7th there in 58.5. And that gets him into the 15 years final. So Jack Hurst there is a qualifier, and you'll see him in a moment. He finished in 7th place, 58.50. There you go, Jack Hurst qualifies. And in the 17s, 18s, Toby Nakamura-Drew is the fastest swimmer so far, but he has to wait and see if he qualifies for the final. On to heat 8. The swimmers here are George Henderson for Dulwich Dolphins, Alfie Owen for Wigan Best, Solomon Silverstone for Pembrokeshire County, Sam Brilker for Corby, Michael Banks for Bromley, Henry Dean for Swim Bournemouth, Elliot Hughes for Trafford Metro Borough, Benjamin Roberts for Grantham, Ethan Collins for Phoenix Aquatics, Romeo Levchenko for Derby Excel. And first to turn there is Henry Dean for Swim Bournemouth. Henry in lane 4. We have 9, 17, 18 swimmers here and 1 16 years, Elliot Hughes, who is in lane 3, 4 from the bottom of the picture. Finishing strongly in lane 2, Benjamin Roberts is coming through here. And Benjamin Roberts has a new PB there, 56.88. Roman Levchenko second, new PB, 57.17. Alfie Owen, 57.61. That's a personal best as well. Fourth there was Henry Dean, 57.67, exactly matching his PB. And look at Elliot Hughes there, 58.6. He is in the 16 years age group. I don't think 58.6 will be in the top 10 times in the 16 years age group. But plenty of PBs there. Swimmers under 57.7, all either with a PB or at least equaling their PB in the case of Henry Dean. On to heat 9. In this heat we have Oliver Davey for Mount Kelly, Hayden Sanders for Bromley, Alfie Price for Orkney, Edward Henwood for Wandsworth. We have Mario Vasconcelos Blanche for Rushden, Mark Thompson for Manchester Performance Centre, Harry Langford for the Royal Score Wolverhampton, Samuel Andrews for Guildford City, Harley Williams for Hastings Seagull, and Maximus Major for Torfin Dolphins. We have a 15-year swimmer, Hayden Sanders, 2 names from the top of the picture in lane 8. And we will know at least one of the finalists for the 19s and overs after this heat. Into the wall we come then, and leading the way in lane 6 is Edward Henwood, 57.10, new personal best. Alfie Price, 57.26, that's a PB. Samuel Andrews, 57.73, good time for him. Mario Vasconcelos Blanche there with 57.94. Hayden Sanders finished 7th, 58.65, qualifies for the 15 years final. Sam Andrews could qualify for the 16 years final there with 57.73. Only one definite qualifier there for a final. Mark Thompson, of course, also qualifying, para swimmer S14 into the mixed classification final. So Mark Thompson qualifies there with 58.52 seconds. Heat 10 now. 4 heats to come. The swimmers here are Andrew Hunter for Cleethorpes and District, Jacob Bacon for City of Peterborough, Thomas Marshall for Exeter City, Benedict McCarthy for City of Cardiff, Nebi Sengula for Highland Swim Team, James Gillies for City of Glasgow, Harrison Galloway, City of Bristol, James Biddick for Exeter City, Ben Barnes for Repton, and Monty Smith for Wickham District. 3 swimmers in this heat are 16 years of age. Ben Barnes, who turned second in lane 1, Jacob Bacon, who turned 8th, and James Biddick, who turned in 10th place. We're watching all of those times. I missed actually lane 5, Nebi Sengula, also a 16-year swimmer, by the way. So 4 16-year swimmers as we come to the wall, and Ben Barnes should qualify for the 16 years final there, 55.79. He does qualify, and that is a PB for Ben by almost a second. Second then, Nebi Sengula also qualifies for the 16 years final with 56.42. Harrison Galloway, 56.56. May qualify for the 17s, 18s. May qualify, but we're looking here for the 16 years swimmers. And Ben Barnes and Nebi Sengula both qualify. Jacob Bacon and James Biddick have to wait to see if their times are quick enough. On to heat 11. We're now into circle seeded heats, so we get some very fast swimmers in the middle of the pool. In this heat, we have Nikolai Cisnet for City of Glasgow, Achilles Bella Omenyo for Guildford City, Llewellyn Porter for Camden Swiss Cottage, Harry Chandler for Worcester, Ruben Rowbottom Keating for Loughborough University, Samuel Sutcliffe for Ramsbottom, Colton Dorfeld for Millfield, Edward Markle Whittles for Chelsea and Westminster, Benjamin Beale for City of Sunderland, and Harry Cook for Aberdeen Dolphins. First at the turn, Harry Chandler, 25.55. We have 3 16-year-olds in this heat. Nikolai Cisnet at the top of the picture, and the 2 lanes at the bottom, Benjamin Beale and Harry Cook. We should get some qualifiers for finals from this heat. So, leading the way in lane 2, Edward Markle Whittles, pushing hard into the wall. He's beaten to the touch by Achilles Bella Omenyo, and it's a joint first time there. Bella Omenyo and Samuel Sutcliffe, both with 54.98 ahead of Edward Markle Whittles, who was only 1/100th of a second behind them. So the first 3 swimmers there with really no time at all between them. Just 1/100th of a second splitting 3 swimmers. For 16 years swimmers then, Nikolai Cisnet, who finished 7th, qualifies. Harry Cook qualifies for his final. Benjamin Beale also qualifies. And for 17s, 18s there, Samuel Sutcliffe is into the final. Achilles Bella Omenyo also qualifying onto heat 12. There are 2 heats left. What a start in lane 4 for Nicholas Finch. The swimmers are Ralph Serecki for Mount Kelly, Elliot Dunnitz for Swim Bournemouth, Xander Tovey for Millfield, Harrison Homans for Loughborough University, Joshua Shepherd for Thurrock, Nicholas Finch for Chelsea and Westminster, Alessandro D'Onofrio for Mount Kelly, Matthias Christoph for Mount Kelly, Toby Hodgson for Leatherhead, and Robert Shipley for Middlesbrough. 3 16-year-olds in here. In lane 7, Xander Tovey, who turned 6th. Lanes 1 and 0, Toby Hodgson, who turned 8th, and Robert Shipley, who turned 9th. Our leader is Nicholas Finch, swimming his way into the 19s and overs final. Joshua Shepherd in 5 will be qualifying for the 17s, 18s here. And third, Harrison Homans will be qualifying for 19s and overs. The time for Nicholas Finch, 53.30. Joint second, 54.03 for Joshua Shepherd and Harrison Homans. That's a PB for Harrison. And fourth there, Matthias Christoph, 54.76. And here we go then. Nicholas Finch in 53.30 qualifies. Harrison Homans qualifies in the 16s there. Xander Tovey qualifies. Matthias Christoph also into the 17-18 final. So too Elliot done it there. This is the final heat, heat 13. And the swimmers here are Daniel Codaverde for Stockport Metro, Henry Shepherd for Bromley, James Kilpatrick for Carnegie, Gabriel Knight for Chelsea and Westminster, Leo Pollock for Repton, Joshua Gammon for Bath Performance Centre, Tom Parrott for Loughborough University, Maxwell Adams for Wickham District, Austin Manley for Repton, and Thomas Woofenden for City of Leeds. Joshua Gammon leading, second Leo Pollock, third Tom Parrott, fourth Gabriel Knight. Fifth at the turn was Austin Manley. The first four there in the 19s and overs. Austin in lane one is a 16-year swimmer. So too Henry Shepherd at the top of the screen, or 2 lanes from the top. Swimmers in three different age groups in this heat. And first to the wall, Joshua Gammon, 53.37, which will qualify for the 19s and over final. Second there, Tom Parrott, 54.55, also into the final. Leo Pollock, 54.74, qualifies. Let's concentrate on the 19s and overs then. Leo Pollock in the final. Gabriel Knight qualifies. And Maxwell Adams qualifies for the final as well. So all the 19s and overs qualify there. In the 17s and 18s, Daniel Codaverde in 57.08. They all missed out the 17s, 18s from that heat. And from that heat we had Austin Manley and Henry Shepherd as well. They both qualified for the 16 years final with their times. Now next heat is women's 200 metres breaststroke. 12 heats. This is heat 1. And the swimmers here are Holly Salter for Edenbridge Piranhas, Charlie Hall for Warren de Baths, Sophie Marsden for Cleethorpes and District, and Martha Rickard for Bromley. All of these swimmers are 13-14 age group. And we'll be looking for times under 2 minutes 50 for these swimmers. As a rule, 2 minutes 50 is a good swim for all four of these swimmers. Sophie Marsden first to the wall in 36.95. So in the white cap, nearest to us, that's Martha Rickard. Next to her, Sophie Marsden. And then in red, that's Charlie Hall for Warren de Baths. And on the far side, Holly Salter for Edenbridge Piranhas. This will be the halfway turn. So it's Charlie Hall, followed by Martha Rickard, Sophie Marsden and Holly Salter. It's probably worth pointing out that Sophie Marsden in lane 4 is one of the youngest swimmers competing here this week. She will have her 13th birthday later this week. So she is still 12 years old. And this will be the final turn. Remember, 2 minutes 50 is a very good swim for all of these swimmers. And our two leaders, Charlie Hort and Martha Rickards, are on course for that. Sophie Marsden and Holly Salter also look like they will swim around that 2-minute 50 mark. So even though they're third and fourth here at the moment, Sophie Marsden and Holly Salter are having good swims. Our two leaders, Martha Rickard and Charlie Hoare, are having really, really good swims. And we might get a couple of PBs here for the two leaders. Martha Rickard has a PB of 2:47.64. It's going to be very close to it. 2:47.64 is a PB. 2:44.39, so personal best. Charlie Hoare also with a PB. Well done to both. Sophie Marsden right on 2:50 there, and Holly Salter 2:52.17. So well done to all four of those swimmers. 2 PBs. And there you can see Charlie Hoare and Sophie Marsden are both 13-year swimmers. And Sophie Marsden won't actually turn 13 until next week. We go on to Heat 2. In this heat we have Bronte Easy for Bassett Law, Matilda Wilson for Morpeth, Elizabeth Grant for Tigers of Jersey, Mia Wilson for Basildon and Phoenix, Olivia Faustman for Leicester Sharks, Elijah Mikaita for City of Peterborough, Rose Keefe for City of Wakefield, Ada Morehouse for Derby Excel, Minnie Wilkinson for Wickham District, and Tatiana Sullivan for Stockport Metro. Matilda Wilson of Morpeth looks like she might be the leader in lane 8. First to turn actually in 4 was Elijah Mikaita. 3/100th of a second between those first two swimmers at that turn. In this heat we have 7 swimmers in the 13-14 age group. The 2 furthest lanes, Bronte Easy and Matilda Wilson. In 6, Mia Wilson. In 4, Ilya Mikaita. And the 3 lanes closest to us, Ada Morehouse, Minnie Wilkinson and Tatiana Sullivan. After this heat, we will have a qualifier confirmed for the 13-14 age group. So the fastest 13-14 swimmer here, which at the moment is Ilya Mikaita, should make it into their final. It's Mikaita and then Matilda Wilson, who's also a 13-14 swimmer, who is second at the moment. So Mikaita turning first. A good time for all of the swimmers here would be under 2:47. And Mikaita is looking more like 2:42, which would be a PB. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Ilya Mikaita is on her way to the 13-14 final with this. Elizabeth Grant in the 15 years age group, 3 lanes from the top, going well now up into seconds. So Ilya Mikaita should be on her way into the final here. The fastest time so far by a 13-14 swimmer, 2:44.39. So if she beats that, she's in the final. She's going to beat that. Her PB is 2:45.66. She beats both of those times. Ilya Mikaita qualifies for the 13-14 final with 2:42.36. Elizabeth Grant's time is 2:45.63. Minnie Wilkinson, 2:47.43, finishing in third. Fourth there was Tatiana Sullivan in 2:47.65. Ilya Mikaita qualifies for the 13-14 final with that time. The other swimmers, Minnie Wilkinson, Tatiana Sullivan, will have to wait and see if their times are in the top 10 for the 13-14 age group. We go on to Heat 3. In Heat 3, the swimmers are Stephanie Hagen-Bassett for City of Bristol, Alexis Johnson for City of Peterborough, Veronique Crozet for Bromley, Lola Knightley for Leamington Spa, Charlize Harding for Norwich Swan, Alexia Augustin for Worcester, Sian Headley for Nova Centurion, Tilly Hubbard for Taunton Dean, Ellis Davis for Millfield, and Caitlin Davidson for Nova Centurion. In this heat, we have 1:13.14 swimmer in the nearest lane, lane 0. That's Caitlin Davidson. We have 15-year swimmers in lane 9, Stephen Hagen-Bassett. Lane 3, Sian Headley, and 2, Tilly Hubbard. We also have two 16-year swimmers, Alexis Johnson in 8 and Alexia Augustin in 4. It's Veronique Crozet who leads, with Alexia Augustin not far behind, and Lola Knightley with them as well. Into the last 5 then. And it's going to be Veronique Crozet to turn at halfway in 1:16.76. Followed at that turn by Augustin and then Lola Knightley. Veronique Crozet looking very smooth, that long gliding stroke. And with every glide, pushing away, it feels, from the rest. We'll be watching for Caitlin Davidson's time at the wall here. Caitlin is in 10th place, but she could get into the 13-14 final potentially. And Alexia Augustin actually turned first. Davidson's 2:07.97. I don't think Caitlin Davidson's going to qualify for the 13-14 final. So we are watching now Veronique Crozet. And Veronique has a PB of 2:43. Could she beat that? She's very close to it. Veronique Crozet, 2:43.53 is the PB. Yes, 2:42.49. Brilliant swim that. Alexia Augustin, 2:43.01, also with a new PB. So 2 great swims there for Crozet and Augustin. Lola Knightley, 2:44.35, also with a PB. So our first 3 swimmers there, all with lifetime best times. And Caitlin Davidson doesn't qualify for her final, but Martha Rickard from a previous heat will now know she's into the 13-14 final. We go on to heat 4. In Heat 4, we have Nina Kolsch for Camden Swiss Cottage, Emma Tooley for City of Milton Keynes, Molly Robinson for West Dorset, Emilia Williams for Guildford City, Emily Lines for Winsford, Erin Newman for Mount Kelly, Eleanor Armstrong for Trafford Metro Borough, Megan Daniel for Carradon, Aaron Kaplan O'Brien for Hackney Anaconda, and Georgia Simmons for Hackney Anaconda. In this heat, we have 13-14 swimmers in lanes 7 and 4. Molly Robinson and Erin Newman. And leading the way, it's Erin Newman in lane 4. Nina Kolsch on the far side in second place. And in third, it's Emilia Williams. Erin Newman then turning first, 1:15.86. And Erin is going to qualify for the 13-14 final with this swim. She's looking very good. Molly Robinson turning in 10th there, 121.39. And she will need to speed up to get into the 13-14 final. She's a little bit slow for that guaranteed qualification at the moment. Molly yesterday won a silver medal in the 100 metres breaststroke. Erin Newman turning first. She was the gold medalist in that 100 breaststroke yesterday for 13-14 swimmers. 157.36 at the turn. She may well swim under 240 here, Erin Newman. Her PB is 242.97, so this looks like a big PB for Erin. I would be pretty certain this is a PB. Let's see if it can go under 240. That would be a really big PB for Erin Newman. Into the last 5 metres then. 242 is Erin's PB. She's going to beat that. Come on, under 240, please. 238.93. That's a massive PB. Well done. Second to the wall, Erin Kaplan O'Brien, Hackney Anaconda. Third then Megan Daniel for Carradon. And fourth, Emma Tooley. 248.29 for Molly Robinson. And that probably won't qualify for the 13-14 final. Let's have a look then. Erin Newman is the fastest swimmer so far in 13s and 14s. And Molly Robinson will not qualify for the final with 248.29. I'm pretty sure of that. But Charlie Hall from an earlier heat now knows that she will be in the final for 13s and 14s. Everybody else there has to wait and see. Megan Daniel, the second fastest swim so far by a 16-year-old there. We go on to heat 5. In Heat 5, we have Naomi Broadley for City of Wakefield, Lucy Wheeler for Woking, Isla Thied for Camden Swiss Cottage, Nina Allen for Newmarket and District, Elizabeth Adam for Leyland Barracudas, Ava Andrekov for Camden Swiss Cottage, Felicity Wiles for Maxwell, Poppy Taylor for Thanet, Ashiria Budatuki for City of Coventry, and Abigail Parry for Nothia-sur-Gar. And in this heat, we have 13-14 swimmers in lane 7 and 0. In lane 7, that is Isla Thied, who turned 10th. And 0 is Abigail Parry, who turned 6th there. So we'll be watching for those swimmers for potential qualifying for finals. We have 15-year swimmers in 6 and 1, Nina Allen and Ashiria Budatuki. And we also have 16-year swimmers in 9, 8 and 5. Naomi Broadley, Lucy Wheeler, Elizabeth Adam. And the rest are 17s, 18s. That's Eva Andrekov, Felicity Wiles and Poppy Taylor. Halfway then, Andrekov is leading. Then Poppy Taylor and Felicity Wiles. Elizabeth Adam turning in 118.24. 75 metres left, and it's Eva Andrekova leading. Final turn then, and Eva turns in 157.46. And I think we could get a PB here for Eva. Second at the turn, Naomi Broadley, 200.09. And Naomi's on for a PB as well in the 16 years on the far side in second place. Third at the moment in lane 3, Felicity Wiles. And I think she's also on for a PB. Our first three swimmers here looking like they're going to set lifetime best times. Eva Andrejkova leading the way in lane 4. Her personal best is 2:38.45. Is she going to get there? It's going to be just outside. 2:39.54. Felicity Wiles 2:41.72 does set a PB. Naomi Broadley 2:42.66. That's a PB as well. Abigail Parry 2:43.31. She qualifies for the 13-14 final with that. Nina Allen 2:44.81. And she's a 15 years swimmer. So Eva Andrejkova finishing first. She'll have to wait and see if she qualifies for her final. Naomi Broadley also has to wait and see. Abigail Parry, though, is into the 13-14 final. Nina Allen will have to wait and see if she qualifies for the 15 years. This is heat 6. In this heat, we have Petra Varga for Wirral Metro, Isabel Owen for Sandwell, Daisy May Dole for Basildon and Phoenix, Georgia Atkinson for City of Cambridge, Autumn Humpage for City of Birmingham, Gabriella Giblin for Stockport Metro, Sophia Fitzpatrick for Bristol and South Gloucestershire, Emily England Hall for City of Leeds, Olivia Taylor for Leamington Spa, and Ileana Forsyth for Enfield. We have 13-14 swimmers in lanes 5 and 2. Autumn Humpage and Emily England Hall turning 7th and 10th there. The leader, Ileana Forsyth, in lane 0 at that turn, followed by Sophia Fitzpatrick. Olivia Taylor in this second 50 metres, looking like she is getting up onto Ileana Forsyth's shoulder. Coming up to the halfway turn. And it's Ileana Forsyth just ahead of a very small group of Fitzpatrick, Taylor, Humpage and Atkinson. 0.83 of a second between the first 5 swimmers at that turn. Autumn Humpage leading the two 13 and 14-year-olds in this heat. And we're coming up now to the final turn. And it's Forsyth leading then. 1:59.44. And she's right on PB pace here. Ileana Forsyth, the leader. And also coming through now in lane 7, it's Daisy May Dole in the 15 years age group and Georgia Atkinson, also a 15-year swimmer. 2:42 is the PB pace for all of these swimmers. So we've got PBs there for Autumn Humpage, 2:41.10, and for Georgia Atkinson, 2:41.26. Ileana Forsyth finishes in 2:43.25. And Autumn Humpage is a 13-14s swimmer. That time of 2:41.10 qualifies for the 13-14 final. I don't think Emily England Hall will qualify with 2:48.43. We're waiting for the result to be confirmed. Second there was Georgia Atkinson. And There was a disqualification for Daisy May Dole in lane 7. So Autumn Humpage qualifies. Georgia Atkinson has to wait and see if she qualifies. Olivia Taylor has to wait and see if she qualifies for the 16s. Emily England Hall probably won't qualify, but it does mean that Sullivan from an earlier heat qualifies now for the 13-14 final. We go on to heat 7. And in heat 7, we have Isla Stewart for City of Peterborough, Jasmine Andrews for Rushmore Royals, Chloe Morris for Millfield, Macy Bruff for Repton, Sophie Statham-Gill for City of Leicester, Martha Cunniff for Rushmore Royals, Amelie Bruntlett for Nuneaton and Bedworth, Summer Everson for Watford, Savannah Simpson-Jones for Guildford City, and Amelie Spicer for Bristol and South Gloucestershire. Into the wall then, and at the first turn, the leader in lane 7 is Chloe Morris, ahead of Macy Bruff and Summer Everson.
We've had some quick times in 15 years so far.
And now Sophie Statham-Gill going well, but also Macy Bruff in 6. Macy Bruff and Chloe Morris leading into the halfway turn. Bruff is a 15-year swimmer. Chloe Morris actually got to the wall just ahead, also a 15 years swimmer. We should get qualifiers after this heat for the 15 years final. Into the final turn then, and it's Chloe Morris first to the wall. Chloe turning in 1:56.89. She's got a PB of 2:40.86. This is going to be very close to that pace. Martha Cunniff now finishing strongly in lane 4. So it's going to be Macy Bruff. The fastest time we've seen so far from a 15-year-old is 2:41.26. This is going to be the fastest 15-year-old so far. Can we get a PB? Under 2:40, please. Macy Bruff, 2:38.26. That's a personal best time. Chloe Morris, 2:39.98, also with a PB. And Martha Cunniff, 2:40.00. That's a PB in third place. Summer Everson, 2:41.72, also a personal best. So the first 4 swimmers there, all with PBs. Macy Bruff qualifies for the 15 years final. Chloe Morris qualifies. From a previous heat, Georgia Atkinson also now knows she qualifies. In terms of 13, 14 years swimmers, none there. But Naomi Broadley now qualifies for the 16 years final. On to heat 8. In heat 8, we have Ella Fear for City of Bristol, Chloe Mahoney for Brompton, Eva Newman for Mount Kelly, Isabella Cleary for Mount Kelly, Amaya Waters for Harrogate District, Esme Hall for Borough of Stockton, Jemima Da Silva for Camden Swiss Cottage, Jasmine Penzay for Millfield, Maisie Brown for Rushmore Royals, and Hannah Pye for Guildford City. And in heat 8, we have swimmers in the 16 years age group in 9, 7 and 4. That's Ella Fear, Eva Newman and Esme Hall. We have 1:13.14 swimmer, Chloe Mahoney, who turned second there in lane 8. And we have 15-year swimmers in 6, 5, 3 and 2. Isabella Cleary, Amaya Waters, Jemima Da Silva and Jasmine Pensay. Our leader, Eva Newman, swimming in the 16 years age group then. And her turn at halfway, her split 1:13.98 seconds. Second at the turn, Chloe Mahoney, who's a 13.14 swimmer, remember. Eva Newman out in front. Chloe Mahoney in second place at this stage. We are watching 15-year swimmers as well for potential places in their final. They are in lanes 6, 5, 3 and 2. So leading that group is Amaya Waters, turning 6th there, just ahead of Jasmine Pensay. Into the last 50 then, finishing strongly on the near side, Maisie Brown and Hannah Pye in lanes 1 and 0. Also going well, Jasmine Pensay in 2. And in the middle of the pool, Esme Hall and Amaya Waters. But our two leaders are Eva Newman and Chloe Mahoney in this heat. The PBs for both of those, Chloe and Eva, are 2:41. So we've got two PBs here for our two leaders. It's Chloe Mahoney, 2:38.6. She qualifies for the 13-14 final with that. Eva Newman, 2:38.86. She qualifies for the 16 years final. So that's Chloe Mahoney into the 13-14s final. Eva Newman into the 16 years final. Jasmine Pensay qualifies for the 15 years final. Also qualifying now for that 15 years final from Amaya Waters there. And Isabella Cleary, I don't think will qualify with 2:46.15. We go on to Heat 9. And in this heat, we have Darcy Platt, City of Leicester, Neve Savary for Newcastle Swim Team, Annalise Elford for Whitney and District, Evie Kick for City of Sheffield, Honor McCarty for City of Glasgow, Isis van der Stroom for Nova Centurion, Jessica Hill for Tiverton, Hazel Ann Carter for Wickham District, Grace O'Hara, City of Leeds, and Eve Hibbert for City of Leicester, City of Sheffield. We have a 15-year swimmer in lane 6, Evie Kick, who turns 6th there. We have 13-14 swimmer in lane 1, Grace O'Hara, turning in 2nd. And 16 swimmers in 5, 3 and 0, Honor McCarty, Jessica Hill and Eve Hibbert. Into the halfway turn, and it's Annalise Elford turning first, 1:16.09, followed by Eve Hibbert, Grace O'Hara, Neve Savary, Jessica Hill, Evie Kick, Hazel Ann Carter, Darcy Platts, Isis van der Stroom and Honor McCarty. We're watching Grace O'Hara in lane 1 because she's the last 13-14 swimmer to compete in these heats. And to qualify for the final, she needs to beat 2:47.92 Grace O'Hara. She is well on course for that. So Grace O'Hara looks like she will qualify for the 13-14 final. In terms of the 15-year-olds, Evie Kick is in lane 6. And for Evie to qualify for sure, she needs to beat 2:44.81. Coming into the wall then, Annalise Elford. And Annalise touches the wall in 2:38.65. That's a new PB for Annalise. And that's the fastest time so far from a 17-18s swimmer. Second there was Eve Hibbert. And third, as you'll see, Evie Kick. So Annalise Elford there with 2:38.65. Eve Hibbert qualifies for the 16 years final. Evie Kick qualifies for the 15 years final. Grace O'Hara qualifies for the 13s and 14s. We go on to Heat 10. In this heat, we have Neve Dunbar for City of Leicester, Megan Mills for Tadcaster York Sports, Georgina Hamilton for City of St Albans, Holly Hopwood for Guildford City, Olivia Quiller for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Sophie Brassington for Swansea University, Sophie Moore for City of Cambridge, Olivia Robbins for City of Birmingham, Scarlett Davey for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, and Sophie King for Mount Kelly. First at the turn, Holly Hopwood in 34.89 seconds. In this heat, the first of our circle seeded heats, we have 15-year-old swimmer Olivia Quiller in lane 5, 16-year-old swimmer Olivia Robbins in lane 2. There are 17-18 swimmers in 9, 8, 7, 6, 1 and 0, and 19s and overs in 4 and 3, Sophie Brassington and Sophie Moore. Sophie Brassington is going to be first to the wall, followed by Sophie Moore. And third in there, Holly Hopwood in the 17s and 18s. Olivia Quiller turning fourth. Remember, she's a 15 years swimmer. This will be the final turn, and it's Sophie Brassington leading. 151.5 for Sophie. We could be getting close to PB pace here. And Sophie Moore in second. Also close to personal best territory. Into the final 10 metres, it's Sophie Brassington, and the PB is just outside that, 2:31.19. Sophie Moore 2:34.11. They're good times. Holly Hopwood 2:35.98, finishing third. Then Olivia Quiller 2:38.44, qualifies for the 15 years final. In terms of 16-year-olds, Olivia Robbins swam 2:40.92. She qualifies for the 16 years final. And then into the 17s, Holly Hopwood qualifies Georgina Hamilton qualifies. Megan Mills qualifies. Scarlett Davey will have to wait and see. And in the 19s and overs, Sophie Braxington will also have to wait and see. On to heat 11. There are 2 heats left. In this heat, we have Chloe Butler for Norwich Swan, Iola Bellinger for Winchester City Penguins, Jasmine Carter for Mount Kelly, Charlotte Cope for Guildford City, Anna Finley for Derwentside and Gateshead, Charlotte Bianchi for City of Sheffield, Emma Allett-File for Guildford City, Ines Grimond-Beetham for Camden Swiss Cottage, Ellen Eccleston for City of Norwich, and Emily Farr for University of Surrey. At the turn, Charlotte Bianchi first, then Anna Finley and Emma Allett-File. In this heat, we have one 16-year swimmer in lane 8, Iola Bellinger. We have 2 17s and 18s. They are in 7 and 2. Jasmine Carter and Ines Grimond-Beetham. So we are watching those swimmers for potential qualification for finals. Leading the way, Charlotte Bianchi. There is one heat to come after this. Charlotte has won a silver medal this week in the 100 metres breaststroke. Followed into the wall by Anna Finley. 151.4 for Bianchi. And with this, Bianchi is comfortably going to qualify for the 19 and overs final. So Bianchi will qualify for her final. Remember, Iola Bellinger, 2 lanes from the top of the screen, is trying to get in the 16 years final. As we watch the clock here, Bianchi finishing in 2:30.53. A bit of a glide in from Anna Finley, 2:36.00. I think she will qualify. I think we'll know she's qualified when this race is finished. Ines Grimond-Beetham, 2:37.72, the faster of the 17-18 swimmers. So 2:37.72 qualifies for her final. Here come the results then. Charlotte Bianchi qualifies. Anna Finley qualifies. Ines Grimond-Beetham qualifies. Charlotte Cope qualifies. Chloe Butler qualifies. The other 19s and overs there have to wait and see. Iola Bellinger misses out on the 16 years final there. One more heat to come, heat 12. And in the final heat, we have Josephine Lawn for Bromley, Gwenlyan Evans for City of Cardiff, Kira Fletcher for Nova Centurion, Emily McGee for Dundee City Aquatics, Sienna Robinson for Loughborough University, Imogen Miles for Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, Caitlin Hartley for Hatfield, Mari Gibson for City of Cardiff, Millie Searle for Gary, and Annabelle Cook for City of Sheffield Swim Squad. Sienna Robinson leading the way. And Sienna has won 50 and 100 metres breaststroke gold for 19s and overs this week. Imogen Miles is in the 17-18 age group in lane 4 in second place at the moment. And she is a gold medalist in 100 breast this week and a silver medalist in 50 breast this week. Sienna Robinson will turn at halfway in 1:11.44 ahead of Imogen Miles. We have Millie Searle turning there in 7th place in lane 1. She's a 15-year swimmer. And Josephine Lawn at the top of the picture is a 16-year swimmer. So we'll be watching for those two to qualify for their finals. For Millie Searle to qualify in the 15, she needs to beat 2:44.81. And for qualification in the 16 years final for Josephine Lawn, she needs to beat 2:44.39. So our two leaders, Sienna Robinson and Imogen Miles, they're in two separate age groups. They're both going to qualify for their finals here with these times. Chasing them in lanes 3 and 2, Caitlin Hartley and Mari Gibson. And also in lane 6, Emily McGee. So into the wall we go. And Imogen Miles finishing the stronger. And Imogen's time, 2:29.95. She's the fastest qualifier for the 17-18 final. She'll be in lane 4. Sienna Robinson, 2:31.57. She'll be in lane 6 in the 19 years and over final, third fastest qualifier. Mari Gibson there, 2:37.53. Josephine Lawn, by the way, qualifies for the 16 years final with 2:40.12. And Millie Searle qualifies for the 15 years final with 2:40.31. Caitlin Hartley qualifies for the 20s and overs. Kira Fletcher misses out. Emily McGee qualifies. And in the 17s and 18s there, Gwenllian Evans qualifies, but Annabelle Cook misses out. So Gwenllian Evans qualifies, Mari Gibson qualifies, and so does Imogen Miles. Right, that brings this session of heats to an end. And all of those 10 fastest 10 swimmers in each of their age groups will be back for the final session this evening. We have 2 more sessions to come. Before that, we have relay sessions to come. Our next session begins in 1 hour and 40 minutes. We'll be back at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. is our next session when we will be back for the heats of the relays. So we will see you at 1 p.m. for the heats of the men's 4x100 meters freestyle relay. As ever, thanks for supporting your athletes. It makes an enormous difference to everyone to know you're right behind them. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching.